Welcome to CathyDSlaught's SRC4u Zoom call for April 21st, 2022. We're here on Cathy's website, CathyDSlaght.com, and we'll scroll down to enter the Zoom call. We'll click here. Now, this is a demonstration of the SRC4u software. If you would like more information on the software, you can contact Cathy, and she will go over the information with you. If you'd like to demo the SRC4u software, please ask Cathy. If you haven't really decided you want a demo or you want to buy the software, but you'd like to see the software, well, join Cathy's Daily Energy Clearing Group. It's a monthly fee, and you can register here. We're going to go on over to the Zoom call. That'll be in progress. It'll be loud, so you may want to lower the volume on your speakers. One moment, please. YouTube disclaimer, this is for entertainment and educational purposes only.
It's 10 o'clock. I want to show you guys that finally we cleared. Look at this.
Wow.
And this took days. I'm really, like I said already, excited about all these updates. Let's just go ahead and clear that. I just wanted you to see it. And then we got a new panel. And look at when we did the primary situation. These are all zeros. I am lovable. I am a thriver. And we are to hold images of the work already being done. And we're not asking for any kind of special preface scan like a discarnate or an SRC startup. So I just want to go. I didn't send anything out yesterday because I want this to all kind of be together. But you've got Mary fixed the Excel spreadsheet, so I was able to do it. I'm going to make this bigger. And these, at this moment in time, this is not something, we just have to give the information. Excuse me, our software contains a lot of this kind of stress management, but we have to also be aware. This is what's interesting. Remember, the very top cause at that time was our children coming up. And I might mention, most of us, our children seem to be grown, but maybe some don't have children. But this would make a very interesting career focus for anybody that's been wanting to do something with the SRC to work on our this very situation, the mental health, maybe as it pertains to children. After that top zero, these are the other zeros that came up in the Excel spreadsheet, the I generation. And that's what seems to, I didn't know that the I generation I thought it stood for everything is about me, me, me. That's not true. The I generation stands for internet. This group, born between 1995 and 2012, they've never known life apparently without the internet. And you think about it, when they were born, if it started in 1995, they obviously as babies, we didn't have a lot of internet back then, but from their time that they can remember, they probably don't. And then apparently what happened is that when they made it so your computer went into your smartphone, the smartphone really topped it off. So what I'm going to show you some characteristics. It's not all bad. It's not all bad. But we maybe for our own stress management need to be aware of this. So then we had next was being exposed to a multitude of opinions. We've got that information already and some codes to deal with that. The breakdown of the family unit, and then increased performance pressures. So those were our zeros as far as what we're needing to look at. One of the things about this I generation is that there has been a sharp rise in mental health issues for them. And it says a lot of it is because they grew up with cell phones. And here's some of the things, and they're not all bad. They are obsessed with their safety, speaking, of course, in general terms. They do have reduced crime rates compared to previous generations. They're a little bit, they don't start that drinking so young. The sexuality, same thing. But they're very worried about their economic futures, and yet they don't want to work at a job. And I talked with someone the other day whose grandson is 23, and the reason he doesn't want to work at a job, he's still living at home, is he doesn't want to be with people. And he doesn't yet have a driver's license. And so this is just something that's a characteristic but they have no patience for inequality. Like they might sit down and watch Keeping Up with the Kardashians and feel, hey, we ought to have these things too. The spirituality has gone way down. New attitudes towards work. Again, there you go, decline in person social interaction because they have everything they need in their phone. And all of us have a little of that. They're growing up more slowly, less likely to manage their own money. Just a few things. As far as this breakdown of the family unit, just a few things to think about. Again, we don't necessarily have to focus on this, but it's about awareness, increase in parental fighting, which could lead to domestic abuse. The children that see this kind of thing, this domestic abuse, have a much higher rate of juvenile delinquency. There's a little bit more alienation or neglect as far as the children feeling that. Of course, the marital breakdown, poverty, we've gone up in the habitual drinking or drug abuse. There's not much of a moral education. And so, again, we've got morals, which go with the time. We've got ethics, which supposedly that's constant. Maybe we should have put ethics in here. I don't know. And because of that, what we're seeing, and we've seen it again, this is not unique to their generation. Any generation that sees all those other things mentioned may distance themselves from the family unit. Another thing that's really been a family breakdown issue is actually welfare. Do your own research on that. Not that you don't want to help those in need, but this lifelong pattern has not benefited the family structure. Women, of course, can reproduce without a partner. That's extremely encouraged, actually, in some circles. The divorces are easy. We kind of, through our media, etc., accept the infidelity more. And then, of course, the religious barrier to divorce and all this has also weakened. So just a little thought on that. I'll send that all out today just for things to think about. And like I said, it might be very interesting for some of you looking for a specialty that, our mental health or this kind of thing might be something you're drawn to. Let's just look here, see where we are. All right, so we've got our top priority at this moment in time, kidneys. And again, that can be emotional or physical. Let's put stress related kidneys. Again, looks like we have it under control at this moment in time, just a little energy. Liver meridians, earth element meridian, a lot of energy flow here. What I think is wrong with me, a little bit more acupuncture. Now there's that amino acids again. That's been coming up so much. Let's just look at that. See, that's still something to look into. Where's my little see what we've got here. Okay, so we can go, let's just see. Not quite. Let's look at the dispenser. They don't always come up. look at that 99. Let's go down here. Checking this, but I'm not making a cocktail. I just am checking it to make sure, because what often happens, you come up with something like this and then it doesn't come up here. It brings up all the underlying causes, and I would like to see what it's saying about everything. And look at this. We have literally connected every other little box. So we've got some stress. And you know already the amino acids are coding, and they feed the information to the DNA, which is said to be a crystal, more of a crystalline structure. Now let's look here and see just what we've got. And again, nothing that you go out and buy or but just the energy. The enzymes seems to be a big deal for all of us at this time also. Here's some essential oils. Fatty acids nearly always comes up. Flower essence. Okay, this is always interesting. We're asking to have some heightened perception, to see below the surface. We want to break some karmic ties. And even some of these karmic ties could be some addictions, according to this. Dissolve fear and limitations. It's all pretty positive. There's a little resentment and bitterness. Let's just see again. Okay, so we have a little look at this through the elemental scanner, a benefit of working to clear that way. And then we might want to also check the mediator. Let's just go in here. And that would be a positive to clear. Let's just go ahead and let that scan. And while we're at it, release resentment and bitterness through the mediator. No, that's not what we need to do at this point. Sore and stiff. I know we have one member of the group going through that right now. There's that spleen again, which kind of an ignored organ.
Cathy or anybody, what do you do when the mediator comes up on the Pro Tools selection and the client doesn't know any conflict?
That's an interesting thought. There's a lot of general things. A lot of times I'll look at what's already come up and just ask them if I have their permission to do that. For example, like resentment and bitterness, to release it. Yeah, the mediator can work very powerfully. And a lot of this stuff is under the surface, so they're not even aware of it. For example, I don't think this group is, I didn't watch what I came up with. I don't think this group is a resentful, bitter group. And yet that comes up under the surface. Does that make sense? wasn't paying attention here to what I came up with.
Yeah, I was going to ask you the same thing on that.
19. Okay, again, made some progress on this stress related to the spleen. Let's look, but here, for example, you could look up, that big encyclopedia. Some of you have, and I have. We could look up, for example, the emotional relationship to the spleen and ask them if they'd like to clear any of that, for example. Let's just see here. I don't think we'll want it. But we do have a spleen cocktail that covers some of that. Yeah, we'll take that from that. Interesting. So let's go in here. And let's see if we can break it down.
I'm still questioning about the mediator.
Pardon?
I said I still have kind of questions about working with the mediator, because a lot of times it'll call for the mediator, and I don't even know what to put in there.
Yep. It's an interesting program. You can even put some things in there related to your goals. Choose something that you wish for, and there are many areas like that. A goal you've had or a dream that you'd like to see on the beneath the surface level. Do I really want it? It's shocking sometimes to see. Now here's what we've got in reference to the spleen as far as what we want to highlight. There are some regrets, as if, I'm going to put all that in there. Now let's look at that and see how that balances out. Remember, the code is positive. So we're wanting to clear, because that lowers our voltage. All right, so we've got let's put release regrets via mediator. So that would be kind of one way to approach it. Nope. And then we've got a feeling of lack of success. So let's look at one. Let's first get the code. So in other words, that very emotional issue, and it might not even be true, and then stress the spleen. And again, the code is a positive thing. And so if a person came up with that, you might have them write out, remember the power of the word, write out what represents success to them, and then test if that should go in with the mediator. Or let's just put accept success via mediator. No, still not quite there. And just for the heck, okay, increased vibrational level, that, we all are working towards. Again, we've got a good number there, so we're amping up. Look at that. All right. So we will actually, we may have a little subconscious fear of exactly what happens if we do increase our vibrational level. So let's go into the mediator. And this, again, I'm always looking to Kevin for advice here. But lately what I've been doing, I put this one up to a 10. And then over here, I leave that at a 0. And then just run it. And I usually take it 10, 9, 8 on down. And what's been interesting is so often the resistance is not here at the 10, which would be more of a conscious, acute level. It's in the middle. So we keep shooting ourselves in the foot or doing whatever to keep from achieving these things. And of course, the higher our vibration, the more beneficial information we get from all this information that surrounds us. Let's see how we look at a 10. We're low on that. See, so we could work and work with affirmations, etc. But on a level here, we're a little hesitant. So that would be something to keep working on. And while we're at it, here's what we're doing with these timelines. I'm not hammering it, and I am going in on occasion. This first one, we wanted to clear dark night of the soul, and we went up to a 90 the next time. Let's look, and we're gonna right there. So to me, the higher levels indicate there's still some stress there. And then this was long history of bad luck, and we only went up to a 35 with that. Let's look at this. All right, we're going up a little, so I'm just going to let that keep going. And then I added something yesterday I just want you to be aware of, since it's your group. I've been reading that the health agencies knew for a long time that anyone with immune issues probably would not benefit from the vaccine and or whatever you want to call it, the jab, the hokey pokey, whatever. And we're not talking autoimmune. We're talking just many, many people who have stress related to their immune system for whatever reason. So I put into Yes Therapy to install, and I tested it first for a good thing. It was a very good thing to do this. Public health agencies now have concern for people whose immune systems are compromised. And you see that we balance that right out to 100. So that's just, because it almost doesn't seem, and this could be wrong, that they do have that concern because the word didn't get out on that. So anyway, then here we go with the spleen information. We can just move on. But let's see what else we have to say. Liver. We worked on liver so long with the last scan. Stress related liver. We still have some significant all energy, all etheric field being proactive. We're not taking really much. Clear resentment and bitterness, 1 minute with 2 repeats. Do we want a liver cocktail? Yeah, we sure do. So, well, since we see this, let's just look in here at something. Nope. Or do we want to, let's just look at this. I'll do the cocktail first. Again, we have a bunch of them, I'm sure. just look at this. Knowing how significant these images are for us. Look at that. Okay, let's do it.
Well, what's that one?
This is the image of a healthy liver.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And it is amazing how well we accept some of these images. That's why I tried that one first. But that bears more. Let me just look in here to see for the heck of it. Next group focus liver. Yeah, so we'll do a little work, maybe more work on that. Because no question, liver stress can affect the mental health. There's that exercise spirit. Let's just go. Let's just see what kind of stress we're looking at. Let's just lower that. Let's see if we want to do a prayer warrior as well. Yeah, look at that. So I won't do that here because you can see other names. I don't want to do that. Okay. This is another thing that has been coming up quite a bit. Keep that down. One of these days, I'm going to have to focus a little bit more on that. Stress related to our marrow. They say that actually one of the things that really affects our marrow is trauma. Interesting to look into that.
Did you say trauma?
Yes.
Is
Yeah.
that mental or physical?
Either or. Probably mental, probably more than anything. This is another thing we've been coming up with so much, and if you go by Neville Goddard, he says our soul is our ability to choose. Well, let's just see. It comes up quite a bit. Got some stress there. Let's just go ahead and put that in there. Issue. And that would be a negative, even though, in all fairness, maybe nothing's a negative if we learn from it. Let's come back to that. Heart meridians, wood element, large intestine, kidneys. There's kidneys mentioned twice. Heart chakra, large intestine mentioned twice, 3 times. Gallbladder meridians can be an indication of implants. That's apparently where the implants go. First, let's just make sure that we want to focus on the liver as opposed to first doing the large intestine. Yeah, we do. Want that implant band. No? Okay, good. There's that again. So we'll be doing some prayer warrior work today. And don't forget that you can see me, search, remove, clear. If you feel out of sorts at all, it's very powerful. Let me see if we want the complete. There is another cocktail. No? Okay. So the SRC is doing its thing. Heart, burn fat. And I'm not going to go through all of these at this moment in time. Now let's go over here. So we're doing some purging. Got some inflammation going on as usual. This is something we really want to keep tabs on at this time, maybe more than ever.
What is that called?
Stress related to the immune system. So that is coming down for us. That is coming down. Sweat glands, which is interesting. There's the pericardium. Let's see if we want the pericardium cocktail. Good. Still something in reference to denial. Let's just look at that. Yeah, look at that. I'm going to share one thing. I don't know how many of you work with these codes as far as actually repeating them, and I do. I don't sit in a trance and repeat them, but while I drive or walk, if possible, I've got some that I like to repeat. And one, I got a high resonance where I'm going to show you if anybody chooses to participate. Is block cyber attack. And that is 9494788. And let's just see, some of you might want to participate in that. When I tested it again this morning, do I need to keep doing this? And I got a priority of 85%. See, we have a little chronic stress. Maybe we don't believe such a thing could happen. I don't know. Doesn't seem possible. Let me see where we are here. So we've got that up, this block cyber attack code. Let's just see. Did I copy it? Yeah. Look at that. Through the sustenance balancer, 99% benefit.
Holy cow.
Well, you know, there's a great power to putting something in all your food and water. It's amazing. And I've gotten to where I'm doing it every day. Don't always do it during the call. But, you know, different things come up and you test to see the priority. And I know that groups working together certainly can do some amazing things. So for yourself, we could even see, now let's see. So I've just been lately, because I found, if you're working on just what yourself and family, maybe you can do it differently, but I found myself getting confused. I had so many people wanting this, energetically, that I couldn't keep up with it. So I've ended up adding everything. And let's just put that in there, because the dowsing would be another great way to work with this information. Let's see now if we want to chant it. Okay, not so much for some of you others, for me, but test yourself individually and see about that. I like that contented, energetic. Roses are red, violets are blue. I'm schizophrenic, and so am I, oh dear. So we are thinking about these things. In my opinion, the autism, when that comes up in our group, that is knowledge we have that we don't know yet. That's kind of compressed knowledge. I don't know what the rest of you feel about that. Emotional protection during vulnerable times. Let's just put that in and see where we are with that. Looks pretty good. Let's go ahead and chant it as well. Oops. True kindness, that's real good. Look at that. Then the resistance factor, excess conditions. Who knows what those conditions are at this point, but it's working on it. We have that going for us. Let's see now, do we still want to stick with just the wonder click or preserve anything? And nope, good old wonder click. And let's add these themes. And go down here. So we're taking 1 minute with 3 repeats in reference to the soul systems. And I still say, and we'll end it for today, but you still might, if you haven't already, play around with what you want out of your life and start, test it if you're, if that's what you really want, and douse it in. Douse it in every day. You can do a lot with this type of software as those bits of information go into your etheric field. So anything to add?
No.
Looks like that's
it. To think about.
Yeah, well, always. Isn't that the truth? So with that in mind, I'll see you guys tomorrow.
Sounds good.
This concludes the SRC4u Zoom call demonstrating the SRC4u software. Thank you for participating. We look forward to seeing you again. Till then, take care and be well. YouTube disclaimer. This is for entertainment and educational purposes only.